if you're hearing God tell you ask. And if they say no, worst it can be is wrong.
And what he does is shotgun. He does many different kinds of the false prophecies. I'm going to list here, maybe 4 kinds he does. But one of the main ones he does is shotgun-style prophecy, which is when you stand in front of hundreds of people and you say, somebody has back pain here. Well, you can't miss, dude. Somebody lost their eye at a point in time here. You can't miss. Like, we would think that, like, the odds of that are slim. But number one, he may know. We're going to talk about, he may know someone's in the audience like that already. Then he really can't miss. Because what people don't realize is, when you go to these events, they're getting information about you. I've gone to these events. They make you fill things out, everything. I've gone just to look. You know, and then you go outside and you preach against it. You stand out there and you're like, what do these false prophets do? Let's take a look at this operation. And they make you fill stuff out. They make you put your name, what town you're from, all that stuff. And they could easily say, is there a Betsy here? Is there a Betsy here in the audience? Because they know they got a list of all the people that are there. They know who's coming. They know what's going on in their social media. We're going to talk about that too. And when you do shotgun-style prophecy, number one, you can't miss. But what's funny is, Todd White's done it a few times and missed. And those are the clips I'm going to put in here. Because how you could miss when you're shotgun prophecy, you know, to 100 people with vague prophecy, which is another one on the list. I don't know how he could miss, but there was a few in there where he did miss. And this is what he said after he missed and looked like a complete buffoon up on the stage. He was at Andrew Womack's church, who's the biggest heretic that ever breathed air on this planet, that everybody seems to love. He teaches you could sin all you want and go to heaven. So Todd White's at his Bible school, Charis. He gets a prophecy wrong, and he says, I'll take risks. You never know if you're hearing God until you ask. So now he's not prophesying. Now that he's wrong, it's not a prophetic gift anymore. Now he's just asking, right? Which is another one on this list I'm going to go more into detail on. He says, I'll take risks, buddy. You never know if you're hearing God until you ask, and the worst you could be is wrong.
Does that name mean anything to you? No? Okay. All right. I'll take risks, buddy. I will. You never know if you're hearing God tell you ask, and if they say no, worst it can be is wrong. And if you pray, the worst that can happen is nothing. What do we got to lose? Except pride. And that thing needs to die. Oh my. Okay. Let me just, wow, that's fun. I love you, Jesus.
He says, I'll take risks, buddy. You never know if you're hearing God until you ask, and the worst you could be is wrong. So what is he teaching his people? To take a guess, right? Well, you never know. Any thought blowing through your head, blurt it out of your mouth. The worst you could be is wrong. He's not saying make sure you hear God. Don't open your mouth if God didn't send you. The Bible says how can they go and how could they preach unless they be sent? So therefore, how could they prophesy unless they be sent? If you can't preach unless you're sent, you definitely can't prophesy if you're not sent. The Bible says if that prophet speaks wrong, I did not send them. That's not what he's teaching them. He's teaching them to go out there and blurt something out. And if you're wrong, let just God handle it. It's no big deal, right? So he says, what do I have to lose except pride? And that thing needs to die. So now your foolish, false, lying prophecy is a tool to get rid of pride, according to Todd White. He said this. I'm going to put the clip right in here, okay? So anybody who wants to watch this when you go home, it'll be in the video when it goes on YouTube.
Does that name mean anything to you? No? Okay. All right. I'll take a risk, buddy. I will. You never know if you're hearing God tell you ask. And if they say no, worst it can be is wrong. And if you pray, the worst that can happen is nothing. What do we got to lose? Except pride. And that thing needs to die. Oh,
what do I have to lose except pride? And that thing needs to die. And you know what everybody did? Woo! Woo! Yay, Todd, our hero! Are you kidding me? The guy just got up there, tried to con you, failed, looked like a fool, then was so slick and loving and smooth that all the New Agers are, yay, the love of Todd. He's a humble man. He's our hero. You know, like in Gladiator, where they're like, Maximus. You know, they're bringing him into the arena. This guy's a con artist. This guy's a con artist.
Is there somebody that has some kind of shrapnel from a hunting accident when they were 17 years old? Or 17 years ago? I just keep seeing the 17. Is there anybody that fits? I'm good with missing it. Oh, I am. I'll take risks all day long, buddy. God's okay with foolishness when it comes like that.
I'm okay with missing it. God is okay with foolishness if it comes like that.
God's okay with foolishness when it comes like that.
So what he's trying to say is, if you just step out and blurt something out of your mouth in the name of God, God's okay with that because you've now stepped out on a limb without the anointing, basically. Because if you got it wrong, you weren't anointed to speak it. You spoke a lie. When you prophesy wrong, you lied.
Listening and hearing his voice. You never know whether it's God or not unless you ask the question.